Welcome back to the third video in our three-part series on Doki Doki Literature Club. This video will cover the second playthrough after I go back and explain what I actually did on the first playthrough to ensure that I could get the platinum. Now, with that said, part 3 will have a ton of spoilers as we're breaking down how the game works and what to do for trophies. I'm not going to detract from the story or plot points beyond what is absolutely essential, but spoilers, you have been warned. So what happened before I even started playing the game? Well, I went in and I got the trophy stonks for opening a specific folder on the desktop at a specific time. And then I started on the collectibles, which is the second to last or last trophy you're gonna earn before the platinum pops. It just depends on the order PlayStation decides to give them to you after you get the last collectible. So I checked out some of the other documents on the computer to unlock some sketches. I do want to point out I'm not gonna go through all the different things I had to do for various collectibles, just highlight a few of them, all right? This isn't a 100% trophy guide. For that, I did link the guide that I used in the description. And while I'm here, I might as well get another trophy, Error, for changing the desktop background. And then I queued up the music player, set it to Candy Hearts on a loop, and I walked away for 20 minutes to pop the trophy, Buy My Mixtape, for listening to music on the desktop for 20 minutes. And now it's time to actually play the game inside of the game for the very first time. Day 1 will be a bit of a Groundhog's Day time loop situation. I followed the guide, as I said, for the whole thing, and here's an image of what they provided to sum up what we're about to do. We are going to relive day 1 multiple times throughout multiple save scums, but it's worth it as this drops our total playthroughs down to 2. Starting day 1, we read the story up until the poem minigame and then save the game. This save is going to be vitally important for this playthrough. We're calling it our day 1 save. Also, throughout the full day until I start a new game, I was looking for specific words in the poem book to unlock various things. I'm not going to get into all of them and why, but just know that if one pops up, better to get it and ruin your attempt at a perfect poem than to let it go and hope it comes back around. So, sitting in front of my poem book, I wait on the very first word without selecting it for about 6 minutes to unlock Doki Doki Poetry Slam. That's for being in the minigame long enough for the music to loop around. Then it's time to go after Natsuki's heart first, and I write her the perfect poem, earning the trophy, Perfect Natsuki. Then on day 2, I save on a new slot and I write her another poem. This one doesn't have to be perfect, we don't need all 20 words to be hers. Just has to have the majority of them be for her, and this is where I decide to simply mash X and get through it as fast as I can for a trophy, any % WR attempts, for completing a poem in under 20 seconds. I reload my save to go back to the start of day 2, and I write Natsuki another poem. And then, before day 3 poem, I save over my day 2 slot and I write a poem for anyone who isn't Natsuki, and I play through the day until I get all the collectibles. It's then back to the day 3 save to write Natsuki the poem she deserves, and then I play through the game until I confess my love for Sayori, and then it's back to the day 1 save to do this whole process over again for Yuri. The Yuri process is just like Natsuki's. Day 1, perfect Yuri. Save, but not over my day 1 save. And then on day 3, write a poem for anyone else and get the collectibles before reloading and writing Yuri her third poem. Go through the weekend and again, confess our love for Sayori before reloading, back to day 1. Now it's Sayori's turn, and thankfully, she's a straight shot through days 1, 2, and 3. But of course, along the way, we make her a perfect poem for perfect Sayori. Then it's off to the weekend where we confess our love yet again and we move forward until things happen. Back on the main menu, I select quit DDLC and then no when asked if we really want to leave for the trophy aptly named No. And then I start a new game for the trophy, start a new game. Natsuki is who we're going to focus on this time since Sayori is missing. Day 3 rolls around and again, stuff happens. Act 3 kicks off and it's just Monica and me. And she demands a poem. So, sure, you want a poem? You can have a poem. Doesn't matter what you pick, everything on here is perfect for her. So just mash X and finish perfect. Monica. Actually, thinking about it, this would have been a good place for the speed trophy as well, but you live, you learn. Then comes one of the longest bits of the game. We sit and we make unbroken eye contact with her while she rants and raves and displays how absolutely mental she is for 15 different subjects. We just sit here and stare at each other while she talks about whatever comes into her twisted head. I think this part was about half an hour to get through. But on the other side, we get a trophy. She will never be real for listening to a lot of what Monica has to say. And then we sit and we make unbroken eye contact until the very next thing she says, which allows us to leave to the main menu. And from there, we're gonna hunt down the characters folder found in the files tab and we delete Monica. It's only fair. She's been doing it, and so can we. Jumping back into this psychotic world she made for herself, we watch as she unspools and earn the trophy that I will call Delete Everyone for deleting all your friends. Finally, we've made it to Act 4, and we get the good ending, if any of these endings can be called good. And a special note from Dan, who made the game. And it's a legit touching note. It's worth playing just to read it, honestly. And with the good ending done, we earn Dan Says Hi. All caught up? See why I saved all this for its own video and just covered the game in the first two? Cool. On to the second playthrough, which is new to you. It's also full of even more spoilers. That was your warning. Now that we're done, we can reset the system and purge Monica. So we select the reset file and we delete the Monica file, earning the trophy 2 stocked for deleting her a second time. We can now also play the game without her interference, right? No. We basically put the other 3 in hell. Without the Monica program, their programs are incomplete and they're in pain. So we reset the program again and start our second proper playthrough. Fortunately, this playthrough is a lot easier. We made a poem each day for each girl last time, so we got all those collectibles. This time, we're making a poem for a different girl on each day. So day 1 will be Sayori, day 2 Natsuki, and day 3 Yuri. Then the weekend. Hard save. Now to grind out the special randomly assigned poems. At the start of Act 2, the game sets 3 poems that you unlock through playthrough as special poems. Having done this once before, I had 3 of the 11. This playthrough, I will get the first one, and then I'll reload my save over and over and over again until the RNG gives me all the missing ones. Why stop after 1 collectible? Because the other 2 are all the way at the end of the chapter, and there's no guarantee any of them will be useful. So better to just reset over and over and blast through the first one than go all the way through and see what you get. And like I said, I got pretty lucky until the last one. I had a new poem every single time I played until that last one, then 2 duplicates, and then my missing poem. So really not bad. Now I save my game at the start of poem 2 and I exit to the desktop. It's time to grind out the most frustrating unlockable, well, for me anyway. Again, it's RNG. Exiting to the desktop, I will then reload DDLC on the computer. It's a 1 in 64 chance of getting the background that I need, but I had to do this over 200 times until I get the random different title screen needed. So it's desktop, load game, exit game, desktop, load game, exit game, 200 times. But with that collectible obtained, there's no other special circumstance collectibles. It's all just finishing the game now for that particular trophy. Seriously, I can't tell you how much I liked this part being behind me. Almost as much as I would like you to like this video. And while you're down there, subscribe. That was smooth. Act 2 got skipped over as we've already done everything we can here. Act 3 was the waiting game until we could delete Monica again. Act 4 was the bad ending since we didn't fulfill all the requirements for the good ending, but we needed this ending anyway for collectibles. And the bad ending got us the trophy, Thank You, which was given with love from Monica. Ugh. All that's left now is to watch all the side stories. Basically, each one of those will unlock another collectible somewhere in our book. So, honestly, I skipped them all as they're a prequel to the game and a special edition for the PlayStation version of the game, and as far as I know, not available on PC. Since this stuff is all before the plot twist, it was honestly a miss for me. I didn't feel bad skipping it. But then, having played out the last side story and unlocked the last collectible, I earned Friendship in Literature for finishing all the side stories, and then Breakthrough for getting all collectibles, which automatically unlocked Doki Doki Literature Club Plus Platinum for earning every other trophy. And let me tell you, I'm really glad I stepped out of my comfort zone and played this game. I was okay with the themes and topics covered, and as long as you are too, I recommend a playthrough for the story and the way Dan messes with your mind as you go deeper into it. I personally don't see any harm in skipping over Act 1 dialogue to save a ton of time, but again, I'm not a fan of the genre. Acts 2 through 4 are art, pure and simple. Besides, this game is free on PS Plus, meaning the price is right, and if you skip the dialogue you're not interested in, you get the platinum in less than 4 hours. Anyway, that'll do it for this series. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you stuck it through. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye for now.